Okay, so lately I really like YouTube. I like YouTube better than TV because it's like, it's like TV on demand. I get to watch what I want. And then YouTube like feeds videos, like, feeds videos that's in my interest and things that I like to watch. So, what did I find on my YouTube feed? Let me tell you about it. It was pretty darn cool. I found an interview by CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network, and they were interviewing Cara Northington. And who is Cara Northington? Cara is the mother of Xana Kernodle. And who is Xana Kernodle? Xana Kernodle was one of the 4 University of Idaho students who were brutally slain by Brian Kohberger in November. I think it was November 13th, 2022. So CBN is interviewing the mother, Cara Northington, the mother of Xana Kernodle. And what did she have to say in this interview? Well, she was explaining her journey from when she found out about this just brutal tragedy and to the point where she was at presently. And what did she say in the interview? Well, she said that when she found out about Xana and this terrible tragedy, she said she was already in what she called a bad place. And what was that bad place? That bad place was that she was in the throes of drug addiction. So she was not doing well already. And then she finds out someone brutally took the life of her daughter. I can't even imagine going through this. Then she finds out somebody brutally takes her daughter's life. And then what does she do next? Well, she goes deeper into the throes of drug addiction. So she's not in a good place, right? And what happens next? I can't believe this. She ends up in jail. She's in jail for 10 months. Now, I don't know about you, but that's like 3 major strikes, right? You know, really 4. Initial drug addiction, you lose your daughter. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine losing your daughter. She loses her daughter, goes further into a drug addiction, and then goes to jail. Soon as it seems like you have one hit, you try to get back up, bam, you're hit again, and you try to get up, and bam, you're hit again. And I don't know if that were me. After a while, would I even want to get up at all? Fearful I was just going to keep getting hit again. What did she do? She's in jail for 10 months. This is what she did. And she gives her life to Jesus Christ in her jail cell. This woman is a tiger, a tough spiritual tiger. She doesn't give up. She just knows in her heart that there's a better life somewhere. And that was her first step, making the decision. I accept Jesus Christ. Did that make it all better all at once? No. Her journey stops just then. Journey begins right then and there. So she gets out of jail. And then what does she do next? Well, what does she do next is the next video pops up in my feed. And what's that video? That video is about, and it shows her in the courtroom, and it shows her giving her victim impact statement, and she's speaking directly to Brian Kohberger in the courtroom. And I think this victim impact statement happened, don't quote me on the date, but it's like July 23rd, 2025, something like that. She gives a victim impact statement, and what did I get out of it when I listened? It was amazing. I'll leave the link in the comments and in the description. You just got to watch it. I'll leave the CBN link too as well. And so what did I get out of it? I got like 5 key points. I just share with you 5 key points that I grabbed out of it. Certain things that she said that really grabbed me. And the first one is she opens up with her victim impact statement, and she says to Brian Kohberger, she says, because of Xana, like because of this tragedy, I came to know my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And then she says, and because of that, many more will come to know him too. Whoa. Like goosebumps. Amazing. And she could have, here's my thoughts about that. What am I thinking? Here's what it is. I'm thinking she could have gone up there and said, because of what happened to Xana, I hate you. You've ruined my life. I'll never be the same again. And That's it. She didn't. Instead, because of what happened, I become to know my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And then and many more will get to know him. Ah, what a testament. What a testament. Speaking boldly in a courtroom, in a public courtroom, proclaiming her love for Christ. Whoa. Point 2. Then she says, it's Christ in me who has given me the strength to forgive. It was no power of my own. What are my thoughts there? Well, she could have said, I didn't want to, but I chose it in my heart to forgive you. Like it's all coming from her. She didn't even take credit for it. She didn't take credit for the forgiveness. She gave it all to Christ because that's where it comes from. Let's face it, right? This is amazing. She's holding Christ victorious in this entire circumstance. Now, was Brian Kohberger listening? Do you think he was listening? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Didn't matter. She was a witness to every single soul in that courtroom. Point 3. She says, Jesus allowed me to forgive you for murdering my daughter without you ever being sorry. Whoa. Like this is amazing. What are my thoughts here? She didn't need his approval. She didn't need him to say sorry. She didn't need him to say, yeah, it's okay. She didn't need any of it. She doesn't need him to be healed and have her wounds covered by Christ. She doesn't need Brian Kohberger. She needs Jesus Christ. I needed Jesus Christ in my healing. It's the only way to go. She made that very evident. Brian Kohberger, I don't need you. I don't need your apology. And she's right on. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Absolutely amazing. And then this is another one. What else did she say here? She says, this is so cool. She says, I do not fear you, or I will not let you rent space in my head anymore. Is that biblical? Like, is there biblical in that, don't let people rent space in you? No, it's not. But it's biblical in its meaning, right? Think on good things, right? Yeah, that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to think on what's holy and what's pure, not to let him rent space in your head anymore. And she's doing that. You ever hear I heard this week, I was at church, and the sermon said, you can't do much about the birds flying over your head, but you can do a lot about preventing them from nesting in your hair. That's kind of what this is, right? And I just thought, I thought that sentence was so cool. I just thought it was so cool. And the next question I think that comes to my mind is once we get to this point and we feel free, does that mean we're going to be there forever? Maybe, I say, or maybe not. Maybe we'll get a trigger down the road. It's very possible. Maybe we'll hear something or smell something or see something. Maybe we'll get a flashback. And then maybe we'll be overcome with anger. I know it's happened to me on many occasions. Little thought comes back. But what do we do at that point? Because we've already gotten to the point of forgiveness, right? What do we do at that point? We just cover it. We say Jesus Christ's name and we just go, you're the Lord of my life. And I'm not going to let it rent space in my head anymore. We're not going to go there. This stuff is it's extremely cool. And I think the thing overall, in my opinion, what's the main message here? In my opinion, that I come out of this with forgiveness is possible, even in what seems the most impossible situation. I mean, and she came to it in like 2.5 years. How long did it take me? 35 to 40 years it took me to get there. But the point is, it's not how long we take. It's that we just get there that matters. Some of us haven't gotten there yet. Some of us have already gotten there. It's okay. I want to start a conversation with you. I want to ask a question, and I want to know your story. I want to know your answer. And my question to you is, have you ever experienced a moment where forgiveness felt impossible, totally impossible, yet something deeper, maybe like faith, love, or even divine strength, made it possible? Okay? Have you ever experienced a moment where forgiveness felt impossible, but something deeper made it possible? Let me know in the comments because I really, really want to hear your story. Let's start a conversation, okay? All right. Until then, I will see you in the next video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.